Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another episode of So That's How You Do It. Today, we are going to be talking about how to position yourself or your company as an expert with content marketing, right? Super duper cool. How to position yourself or your company as an expert with content marketing. So, I am Stephanie Novinskis, and I am your host today. I'm going to be walking you through this little tutorial here. Comments are always welcome. If you're new, what?
Did you forget to turn your camera around on your phone for Instagram?
Good. Hi, everybody on Instagram. Maybe.
I think you might have to end it and then. Oh, there you are. Now we can see you. Wait, you were there for a second and then it went away. There you are again.
Here.
Don't touch it now. Leave it just like that.
Okay. We're going to start over, world. I know we're live, but we're starting over. You guys are all going to pretend that that didn't just happen. Okay. So, you guys forgive me. I had a gnarly migraine yesterday and it kept me up late. So, I'm operating on very little sleep. But let's start again. Okay. Take two. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of So That's How You Do It. If you see my head bopping around, it's because I'm looking at multiple cameras and trying to make sure that everyone, whether you're watching us on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook Live, feels very well attended to. And like I'm looking at you and I'm looking at you, right? So if you see my head bopping around, that's why. My name is Stephanie Novinskis. I own Sizzleforce Marketing and also Sizzleforce Marketing Academy. And today we are going to teach you how to position yourself or your company as an expert with content marketing. So comments are welcome as always. We welcome your comments live. We welcome your comments after we go live if you're catching the replay of this. And we are excited to dig into this really, really important topic with you guys. So let's start with, you need a mix of two types of content when it comes to marketing your business. Now, I think all of you guys have probably heard by now, content is critical in this era of marketing, okay? It hasn't always been as critical as it is now, but right now, if you're not producing frequent, relevant content, you are leaving big money on the table. So, let's just assume that everyone has decided together, we've all collectively decided that yes, we are on the content train. Now, what does it look like? Well, we're going to discuss that today. But let's just assume that we're all on the content train and we all have already decided it's really important to create that frequent, relevant content so that we can get noticed and attract more clients. Isn't that what we all want, right? Okay, so you need a mix of two types of content, right? Two types. You need evergreen content and you need what's called trending content, okay? Both of them are used to position you as an expert in a very crowded and noisy marketplace. But let's kind of break it down a little bit on the specifics that you need to know about both evergreen content and trending content. And let's go ahead and start with evergreen content. Okay, so first of all, what does it mean? Evergreen content basically means it's content that is not going to be time sensitive, right? You can write something today and someone can read it in 3 years or 5 years, and it's still most likely going to be relevant, right? As opposed to trend is content that is going to be capitalizing on a trend that's really hot right now, But if somebody looks it up in, 6 months, a year, 3 years, it might not have any search volume at all. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Let's focus on evergreen content. So, what are some examples of evergreen content that you can and should create to market your small business? One thing is how-to guides. I know you guys have seen these all over the internet because they are everywhere. But let me give you some examples, okay? Let's say that you own a company that does makeup for special events before, well, let's say you own a company that applies makeup to people who tend to go live on the internet like this. Okay, first of all, if that's you, I could use your services. Kindly reach out to me. But if you are in that position, what type of guide might you want to create? Well, a good one could be something like how to apply your makeup in 5 minutes and look camera ready, right? That's super appealing to somebody like me. I would grab that guide and jump on your list if you put that out there because I don't have a lot of time. And yet I am in front of the camera more than ever these days, right? If you are a party planner, you might want to put together some sort of content about how to apply or 5 party planning tips that make cleanup a breeze, right? You think about the challenges that people have, right? Like in that first example for makeup, that ideal client is someone that's pressed for time but needs to look decent on camera, right? In the second example, the party planner, with 5 party planning tips that make cleanup a breeze, that's probably a host that is doing frequent parties, but has been burdened in the past with a huge disaster zone to clean up after the party. And they want to avoid that problem, right? Here's another example. Let's say you own a martial arts studio, maybe specifically a karate studio. Maybe you create a content, some sort of guide on how to earn the various belt colors, right? Maybe someone who's new to karate, I think it's general knowledge. People know there's multiple belts. We've all heard the black belts are important, and that's a sign of expertise. And then there's apparently different levels or something with black belts. You could be a different degree, I guess is what the proper name is. But clearly I'm one of those people that doesn't know this stuff, that if you own a karate studio is probably like, really? Everybody doesn't know that? No, the truth is everybody doesn't know that. And there are people that are super interested in it. So karate studio, the overview of the belt colors, what it takes to earn each belt. That would be a great thing for somebody who is just getting into karate and they just want to learn, like, well, what's the path to the top look like here? What do I have to do? How do I test? Things like that. Okay. Other examples of evergreen content that you can create. You could create a resource list. As an expert in your field, you have already done a lot of vetting of other companies, other tools, etc., that you trust to help you do what you do better, right? There's probably a lot of people out there that really value your input and value the fact that you've already put the time into vetting certain people, right? So a resource list is a great thing. Now, some people will put out a resource list just as a page on their website, right? And some people will do it in a way that they can even profit from it because they will list links that are affiliate links where they get a cut of the fee that you might pay, right? I several years ago created something called My Little Pink Book of Resources, right? And kind of a play off of My Little Black Book, right? But it was My Little Pink Book of Trusted Resources. And here I had something, I actually gated this content, which means I only made it available to people if they opted into my list. I didn't just have it as a public page on my website that was accessible to everybody. It was a great way to build my list because I've been doing what I do for so long that I've put my own money on the line with the resources I recommend, and I know they're trustworthy. I know they're legit. And so I cut the learning curve. I should say I shortened the learning curve for people that get my little pink book of resources, because they know I've already done the hard work of filtering out who's good and who's not. You guys could easily do the same thing with resources that you trust in your industry. So let's say, for example, you are let's say you're a real estate agent. Okay. So your resource list might include local professionals that you already trust. So maybe it's when somebody is thinking about moving into a neighborhood, maybe you curate a list of resources on, um, the best place to get takeout pizza and the best place to, um, I don't know, whatever. You guys can figure out what it's going to be, right? It could be recommendations of plumbers and recommendations of, maybe playgrounds where little kids can enjoy themselves, right? Or clubs, things like that, like things that as a local expert in that particular zone, but someone that's moving there might not know and therefore would really value it. Okay. Now, when I say it's evergreen and I say it's going to be relevant for years to come, yes, ideally. But if you need to make updates to it occasionally, that's not a problem, right? If someone closes their business and they're in your resource list, you can make little updates. Go ahead and do that. But the idea is most of it is stuff that's going to be relevant for the long term. Okay, another example of evergreen content could be answering FAQs. Okay, we all get FAQs, right? You guys could just sit down today and do a brain dump of the top 10 questions that you find yourself answering over and over and over again. Now, think about the questions that people ask you when they get on a consultation call with you, when they meet you at a networking event and find out what you do, when you're introduced to somebody through another professional connection, and people are like, oh, I've been looking for someone like you. So let's say, I'm sorry, you guys, I keep brushing my hair because I have like this one hair that's like right here and it's tickling my face. So let's say, for example, that you are a financial planner. Now, I know you guys have a long list of like rules that you have to follow because of the industry you're in. And I'm not super familiar with what those are. So let's just push those off to the side and you can filter that later. But, some questions that I might ask a financial planner is, are you fee-based or commission-based? And what's the benefit to me with whatever it is that you are, right? So you might include some other questions. Let's see, other questions for a financial planner. They could be things like, do you help us save for retirement and for college savings? Or are you only someone who focuses on retirement, right? There are so many questions. Now, one tool you guys can use if you're like, gosh, I really don't know what the FAQs are in my industry, one tool you guys should check out is called Answer the Public. Okay. And if my team could put Answer the Public in the chat or in the lower third, if possible, that would be awesome. But answerthepublic.com is, they have a free version of it. They also have a paid version, but don't worry about that right now. Go to this website, use the free version and enter in whatever topic it is that you think you want to create an FAQ list. You might enter real estate, okay? It will automatically cull the top asked questions about that topic for you, okay? Now, some of the results are, I'll just forewarn you, some of the results are gobbledygook and they're not going to make any sense. And so you have to filter through that. But you're going to see a lot of very real, very relevant questions that people are asking about real estate. Now, it would probably be a best practice to narrow that search, and maybe it's something like buying your first home, right? And getting a little bit more specific. And then, people might say like, okay, well, how much money do I have to have to put down as a down payment so I don't have just ridiculous interest rates or whatever it is, right? So use Answer the Public. This tool, you guys are going to thank me for the rest of your life if you go in and explore this tool and start using it, because it is a wealth of information and can make coming up with your FAQs so much easier, right? It also, just kind of a best practice I want you guys to get in the habit of is keeping documentation of the questions that people ask you all the time. Like, have a document in Google Docs or whatever you use and make a list. You're going to see patterns pop up, and you're going to see things the longer you're in business that people want to know. Same questions get asked over and over again. The more you can share answers to those questions, that can become a source of evergreen content for you. Okay. Best practices with promoting evergreen content. You need to share it over and over and over and over again. Okay, don't share your content just once, right? Because there's no way everyone that you want to see it is going to see it when you share it just once. Okay, let's say you post it about it, you create a reel about it in Instagram, and then you post about it on LinkedIn or whatever it is that you do, depending on the platforms you choose to work within. You want to make sure that you mention it, and then maybe a week later you mention it again, and then maybe a month later you mention it again. Okay, the way that we like to do this in our agency is every time we create some content like this, like specifically, I'm talking about specifically like blogs, we will actually write 3 different social media promotional posts to go along with it. So we're not sharing the exact same post over again. We're tweaking it just a little bit. We're, just giving it kind of a new spin, new angle, so it seems like fresh content, but we're sharing stuff over and over and over again, and over time, really building up visibility for that piece of content. Here's another super cool tip and recommendation for you guys. I always recommend creating long form content first. Okay, long form content means really detailed content. Okay, I'm talking like 3,000 words detailed, right? Not this, goofy little 300 word blog post or whatnot. Now, why would you want to write something that's 3,000 words? And by the way, you don't have to write it. It could be a video that you record. It could be a podcast. It could be whatever. But since I like to write, that's where my head goes to off the top, right? But let me give you an example of how I can slice and dice this long form content, okay? I am going live today. Any of you guys can do this, okay? Any of you guys can do this at any time. You just have to get over being in front of the camera and realize nobody really cares what you look like, right? Okay, so after I have this content live, I can then take it and strip the audio out of it, because right now, obviously, we've got video and audio, right? I can strip the audio out of this, and I could turn it into a podcast. Or I could grab just mini clips of the audio, and I could create little sound clips to share on social media, right? Right now, I am live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time, right? I can also take the transcription of this live and I can turn it into a blog, right? It could turn into a nice beefy blog. Now, am I going to have to edit it? Yes, because you talk differently out loud than you do when, the way you want to read an article, but it's going to do about 80% of the work for me if I just get this transcribed. Then I can clean it up and make it into a blog post. I should be able to grab multiple social media snippets from this live, right? Multiple little, just little tips, little, mic drop moments where I can reshare this. I could actually create, I've been going live every week, almost every week consistently. I think it's been almost 3 months now, right? So at some point, if I wanted to, I could grab all of my lives and I could maybe make it into some sort of video course, maybe something that I even charge for, right? Or I, again, could take the transcriptions from all of these live trainings where I've been teaching you guys all these different things about marketing your business, and I could turn it into an ebook, right? Or even a real book, right? It would give me the skeleton for a real book if I have almost 3 months worth of live trainings, if I really wanted to put it together that way. I could take the content of this live and turn it into an infographic. Those graphic, those little graphics that just kind of quickly summarize how to do something, right? Easy peasy with something like this. I could turn this into a speech that I deliver on stages. I could deliver it as a talk that I share when I go on somebody's summit or somebody's podcast. I could even create questions that a podcast host could ask me based on what I'm teaching you here in today's live. It goes on and on and on and on. You guys, so when you create long form content to start with, right, the best way to do that typically is to do it by something like what I'm doing right here, where I'm going live and I'm talking to you guys for, 30 minutes, sometimes even up to an hour, right? Or if you are a writer and you prefer to write instead of showing yourself on camera, right? Then writing something out that's 2,500 to 3,000 words is probably a good starting point. And then you slice and dice the snot out of everything, you guys, because you want to amplify your content. If you're going to take the time to do something like this, you want to get it in front of as many eyeballs as possible and make it work as hard as possible for you. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about trending content. Okay, so what is trending content? I have a feeling you guys all know what it is, but just in case you haven't had your caffeine yet today, it's content that's getting a big buzz on social media and typically on the news. Okay, so examples of trending content. Well, today, something that's trending is about William Shatner going to space in the Blue Origin rocket, right? If you Google that, you're going to see it everywhere right now. If you sell anything that is somehow affiliated to Star Trek or space, it doesn't have to be pretend space like Star Trek. It can be real space. Even if you sell something related to optimizing your life as a senior citizen, something like that, this is the type of trending content that you're going to want to weigh in on. Okay, so you might be like, wait, what was that about the senior citizen? Well, you guys, in case you didn't know, Shatner's an old man now. He's 90 years old, right? And the dude is going to space. What a legend. So, you could Maybe let's say you have a business where you teach people over 50 how to stay in shape, right? This would be a great day for you to create some content on, what William Shatner had to do to be in good enough shape to go to space at age 90. Very relevant. And this would also be something that would lend your ear to the media. Okay, this is super cool, right? If you play your cards right here, and you can speak about a trending topic as an authority in your industry, the chances of the media picking you up and giving you even more visibility are high and awesome. Okay, so where do you find trending content? How the heck do you know what's trending? Well, there are tons and tons of tools out there. You guys have probably seen things, if you're on LinkedIn regularly, you're going to see just when you go into LinkedIn that there's LinkedIn trending content, right? You can see what's trending on a lot of platforms. But let me talk to you about a couple of additional tools. Of course, there's Google Trends. If you have never seen Google Trends before, super important that you guys get familiar with that and you learn how to use it. Okay, there's also Sumo, and then I want to touch on Reddit. So these are three of many, many choices of what you have, and they're all really, really helpful for you guys. Okay, so let's talk about Sumo first. Just so you know, they offer a free 30-day trial, so definitely try the free version before you pay anything. But what you can do on BuzzSumo is you can go on there and you can search for the most trending content on the internet that has been trending for the last 24 hours, the last 6 hours. Heck, you can even do for the last 1 hour. You can narrow your search by the category that it's in, by the keyword that it includes, by the language, by the country that it's popular in. There's a million different things you can narrow down your search. Your results are going to tell you, like, well, how hot is this on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and friends? Okay, super cool. Another tool you'll want to look at is Reddit. Okay, now Reddit, if you've never been on it, not the most user-friendly platform, right? Not super intuitive, but the people that are Reddit fans are typically like die-hard Reddit fans, because once you're in Reddit, you're like in like Flynn, right? So there's a kind of an industry awareness that what trends on Reddit is going to trend in the rest of the world very, very soon. It's kind of like where everything breaks, right? And meaning like breaking news, right? Or breaking trends, right? If it trends on Reddit, get ready because it's coming everywhere else. I would say TikTok is a close second option there as well. So on Reddit, what happens is people post content and then it gets upvoted or it gets downvoted, right? And their algorithm then translates what's trending, what's hot, what's on its way up, et cetera, et cetera. So you can refine your search here, just like I talked about with, the last one that I talked about, Google Trends. I'm tired, you guys. I did not get enough sleep. If you plan to use Reddit with any consistency, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to what's called subreddits. Okay, subreddits. I'm not going to get into all the details of how to do that or how to use that now. A quick Google search will answer that question for you. But Reddit can be an amazing resource for trying to figure out what content you should create when you want something trending. Okay, Google Trends is obviously marketplace leader. In August, Google published an article called 15 Tips to Getting the Most Out of Google Trends. And quite frankly, Google is going to talk about Google better than I ever could. So I'm not going to regurgitate all of that for you. I'm just going to encourage you guys to read this article. We will make sure to get the link to this in the chat. And you guys can read it and find out what Google is saying about its own tool. So what we have talked about today, how to position yourself or your company as an expert with content marketing. Okay, we talked about the importance of having a mix of evergreen and trending content to position yourself as an expert. We talked about what evergreen content is, what trending content is. We talked about examples of different kinds of evergreen content. We talked about the best practices with your evergreen content and how to share it, right? And how to slice and dice it, which might be my favorite part of this training. We talked about examples of trending content, and then I gave you guys some resources of where to find trending content. So I hope this has been super helpful. I would love to remind you guys, October 25th is the first day of the Small Business Marketing Challenge, and you guys need to register for it. It is free. Did you hear me? It's free. Free. This is 5 days of targeted training from our team to help you get noticed, attract more clients, and stop making silly marketing mistakes that are costing you a whole lot of money, right? We're going to help you guys move your business forward over the course of 5 days. You're going to be with us for 1 hour every day. And I am going to teach you how to do something really important to grow your business. I'm going to give you access to some templates that I've created that are already proven to work like clockwork. And then I'm going to give you a short assignment so you can immediately implement what you do and start seeing movement in your business during the week, right? There's no reason for you to put off growing your business for another 30, 60, 90, 180 days, whatever it's going to be. There is no reason to do that. You can make forward progress now. Okay, so the Small Business Marketing Challenge, registration is open now. It's free. You do have to register though. You will not be able to see it if you don't register. So go to sizzleforceacademy.com/challenge to save your spot. Tell your friends that are also running small businesses. This challenge is awesome for those of you that are running small businesses by yourself. Maybe you're trying to get something out of the gate. Maybe you've already been running your business for a while, but you really just have kind of been relying on friends and family and word of mouth. And you're like, I need to get a little more serious about marketing. This challenge is also awesome for those of you that are running much larger companies, okay? You might have 500 employees, right? But you need some help training up certain members of your team in what's working now in marketing, okay? They're going to learn some of that during the Small Business Marketing Challenge. So whether you're a solopreneur that's doing your own thing, or you own a large company and you have people on your staff, or somewhere in between, right? You need to be in the Small Business Marketing Challenge because we're going to equip you with some great insights, tools, and templates, and it's free. Okay. Now, just so you know, no, it's not going to be a pitch fest, right? No, it is not, because those are annoying. I will tell you how to get more from us, but I'm not going to sit there and pitch heavy the whole time, because you're there to learn and make forward progress, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So the content is super rich on this, and I know you guys are going to get a lot of value out of it. I think I have said it. The Small Business Marketing Challenge, it takes place October 25th through the 29th. You have to register to get a seat. And you can do that at sizzleforceacademy.com/challenge. I hope you guys are all going to register. This is going to wrap up our series on So That's How You Do It. We've been doing this for almost 3 months now, and we've given away a lot of content. If you guys haven't seen it all, You can go back, you can watch our videos on YouTube, you can watch the trainings on IGTV, and you can catch them on Facebook. So I hope this series has been so helpful to you guys. Please join us for the challenge, because we are gonna like kick this up about 10 billion notches and really do some powerful stuff with you October 25th through the 29th. So hope to see you there. Have an awesome day. And thank you for watching. That's it. Bye.